You and I had talked about more than just bringing the data together, more than just bringing, the story together in an entry point way. You talked about a humanity balance. And you could kind of say, what does that have to do with this conversation, right? But it was about blending insights with real conversations. And where B2B is a relationship-based business, it's all about getting into and making the most of conversations. So I would love to understand your insights on this blending insight and real conversations, this humanity balance.
So here's what I'll say, and this is what I've learned through the course of my career as well. Is like as today's marketer, you've got to understand how to actually listen, and there's a difference between hearing and listening. So you've got to understand how to listen. You've also got to be able to critically think through things and have an enterprise level mindset, and then ultimately use this data to help you make decisions. And so those things are very, very important. But I also tell my team all the time, the data piece is only half of the story. So this kind of goes into play with what you're
Mm.
talking about. Is like if you are just making decisions on data alone, well, then you're missing the most important piece, which is the human side of it. And then to build on top of that, the client side of it. And so you've got to understand the data piece, but you also have to go physically talk to your salespeople in person, hear the human side of the story, and also don't forget about the client feedback. And the mixture of all those things is where you're going to find success.
So really interesting. McKinsey again came out around the same time with a different study. And this time they said that less than 15% of companies execute well on a voice of the customer strategy. And so the data is hugely important. But we all know that the customer is the number one authority in our business, right? And so, listening to the customer, incorporating the customer's voice into everything that we do, super important. Listening to the sales team, what objections they're getting, what roadblocks they have. Marketing, what I'm taking away is that marketing's got to be a really good listener.
It's so true. And this even kind of segues into, the hottest topic right now is AI. And
Yeah.
so because listening is so very important, both from a marketing and CX side of things, people often approach me and they're like, how are you guys dipping your toe in the water of AI? And what we've really done internally at RJ Young and Velocity One is we've started small and we've really doubled down on focusing on the client. So a real life example is when customer care receives a call, we're running AI agents in the background of that call to be able to generate call summaries, live transcriptions, and sentiment tracking. Well, all those tools, that's extremely important to improve documentation quality, but also to reduce wrap up time. And so that's helping us enhance the client's experience from a marketing perspective. We're sharing those learnings internally on a monthly basis. So people having a sense of what people are talking about, what are the sentiment, what issues they have, and then working those same things into our marketing efforts. And so that's kind of like a full picture of how we're using AI to scale and grow our efforts, but also be very intentional with our clients.